It's your girl Quincy.
We are here with Salt and Pepper. How has Gail made you?
Don't get me crying.
And we are here live at the SAG Awards. What's the biggest lesson motherhood has taught you?
To be honest.
I'm the Q in the studio.
All right, cutie.
It's a different world.
Thanks for coming. Thank you for letting me know you.
It's an interview and shit over here.
This is probably the best interview I've ever done.
You're such a great interview, my goodness.
This is honestly the best interview I've had in months.
I'm hanging out with my booskies.
Studio Q, baby.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Quincy, host and founder of Studio Q. I want to thank all you guys for supporting my page. Today, I have an interview planned with Isaac the Third. He is the CEO and founder of Fanbase, and I'm waiting for him. So I just wanted to come on as planned and shout out everybody who's been supporting my Studio Q page. I see most of it is most of the support is for the TikToks. And I just wanted to explain that. I got really, 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 really obsessed with the TikTok app. And I wanted to share everything that was moving me during the pandemic, where it made me cry, whether it made me, laugh. And so I shared it. And for some reason, you all liked it and continue to like it. So I put my Studio Q interviews in the middle. And my goal is to, my goal is to go viral on my own page. So I see we got Isaac in the building. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Hello to everybody on Facebook Live. We're going to bring him in. I'm so excited to be able to speak to the man. Oh my goodness. Let me give you the proper introduction. All right. I mean, he's a dreamer. He's a hustler. He's a serial entrepreneur. I mean, he's a voice actor for the last 20 years. He's a music producer. He's a music producer, and he's also the CEO and founder of Fanbase, the first Black man to do such a thing. Welcome, Isaac Hayes III to Studio Q.
Hello, thank you for having me. This is live. I love it.
Yes, live. Man, yeah. I'm just so impressed and excited by your trailblazing journey. And before we get into what Fanbase is, I want to talk about how Fanbase was born, because this is my tambourine. So when I get excited,
I heard it.
So when I heard it,
I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's for when I get excited and I can't really express it to the extent that I want to. I'm going to do my tambourine to give you some extra love. How Fanbase was born. I heard you talk about a story about a Memphis kid who went viral, and how you reached out to him to congratulate him, and you gave him your number. You got his number, and talk a little bit about that sport. Is Ghetto Spider Man or Ghetto Spider? He did something.
Ghetto Spider. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that I love about the Fanbase story is that it comes from a genuine place. I was not expecting to build an app like that. I didn't have a clue on how to build apps, but leaving that conversation, he went viral, and leaving that conversation, he was just at a loss of how to monetize this moment. And I was like, he can really dance though. I looked at a couple of his videos and he could really dance. I was like, people need to be able to subscribe to him to learn how to dance like that. He could teach dance classes and stuff like that. And then that's where Fanbase, was born. It was just born out of the necessity for people to be able to monetize these moments or these talents that they have, as opposed to having to kind of figure out what to do once you become famous for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? That fame on social media, it comes and it goes so fast. You go viral, and then before you know it, the moment is gone. And if you don't capture that moment and capitalize on it, you get left in the dust.
Yeah, and didn't the Forbes list just come out, and there were no Black women in the top 100 creators from TikTok? To me, that's just
there were no Black people.
Black people.
There were no Black people on the top list. No, on the top list of all of the Forbes list of top TikTok creators, there were no black people. Now on the top list of TikTok creators, period, there are no black women in the top 100.
Wow.
And then there are probably 8 to 10 men, but like 8 of them are famous already. So like Kevin Hart, The Rock, Will Smith, Jason Derulo. Sure. Yeah. Right. They're already, Lil Nas X, they're already known people. So there's definitely a deficit there in the way that users on TikTok are able to capitalize the general public of users as opposed to having to be already famous to have the same level of success on that app.
Yeah. And there's a lot of ripoff. Like, they take the dances and, the white creators get the credit and the money and the brand deals for it.
Well, I mean, that is the nature of those apps, though. I don't have a problem with that, right? That's the nature of what TikTok is imitation, right? Everybody takes from everybody on the platforms. The problem comes when two issues. A lot of the content from Black creators is not highlighted as much as white creators just based on machine learning and algorithms. And then the opportunities that are presented to users on the platform that are African-American pale in comparison to those of white creators. So you might get paid, $800 to do a challenge, which is a real story that this one user was paid. I'm not gonna say who it was paid $800 to do a challenge, but then a white creator that duplicates the challenge that they did might get paid $80,000, right? And that's a huge difference. You created it and you got $800. They duplicated it and they got paid 80 grand by the same people. That's where the problem is. That's the issue.
But you have created something where we can get all of our money for our content, fan base. Please describe. I think I have a thing that a banner that I'm gonna put down here so that people can go download fan base right now.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So tell us about fan base, and I know you were on Clubhouse. Didn't you make Clubhouse black? Didn't you make Clubhouse famous by just inviting some of your famous friends?
So not like that. It was a strategy involved, and I'll tell you why. I understand the value that Black culture brings to social media platforms. During that time, I had already been accepted to raise the first $1 million from my Start Engine campaign, but it is illegal to talk about your raising capital before your raise is live. So I knew that if I brought the Black community onto Clubhouse, that we would immediately understand what this was about to be and complain like, we need to build our own apps. We're about to blow up another app. And I'm just rubbing my hands in the background.
You got one in the back cooking.
Yeah, I got mine getting ready. Like, all right, we want you to invest in this. So I'm like, yeah, keep talking that. And then when my raise went live, the very end of October, October, I think it was like 29th or 30th of 2020, I was just like, all right, put your money where your mouth is. And that first $20,000 or so came off of Clubhouse fan base. So I intentionally invited the Black community on there for 2 reasons. One, I saw that the space was void of Black people that should have opportunity to speak to these CEOs and these very smart executives who were on the platform at the time, but it was very exclusive. And then I knew at the same time we would be able to capitalize on the fact that we're going to make this the next big thing. So therefore we could duplicate this. Like Clubhouse will serve as the case study for how we can duplicate this with fan base. Again, you know what I'm saying? Especially once I added audio to the platform, audio chat rooms. I said, we could do this again. We could just, but this time we could go invest and actually put money and have equity in the company and then duplicate that same pattern and then go ahead and capitalize on that.
Well, break down the whole fan base model so people watching now and the replay can really understand how it's really a game changer in the future.
So Fanbase is a one-of-a-kind subscription social media platform, meaning it is free for anybody to download, free for anybody to use. But if you have content that you think is on another level, right? Higher, better, something that you should, you're dropping gems, you're teaching people how to dance, how to do their taxes, how to have a better relationship, and you want to charge people, then you can put content behind paywalls in multiple different ways. And so it's on iOS and Android. We're in 170 plus countries around the world. And so it's really changing the game because we are in the subscription era. You know,
Yep.
social media is the last media left on the planet that is not subscriber based. You're talking about TV and film, music, radio, print media, productivity software that creates media. All these things are subscriber based. Even apps that we use on our phone to edit our photos and stuff, you got to subscribe to them now. You don't buy them anymore. And so social media is the last, place, and we really need to go there because it's really the future democratization, distribution of content from one user to another, so that your Netflix, right? I get my content, I get my TV show, I get my podcast, I get my entertainment directly from you, as well as Netflix and Hulu. But now I can subscribe to individual people that can provide their own version of what they want, content they want to share and provide to people as well.
Well, congratulations, because I see on Fanbase today that you reached another milestone of 1.3 million in the last 30 days of raising on Startup Engine. Is that correct?
Startup Engine, so we're actually at 1.4, about to be at 1.5. The goal is 2.6 million. We've raised about almost 1 point. I think we're at 1.5 million, almost at 1.5 million in about 5 weeks. You have 6 months to raise this money, so we're over halfway there in about a month, which is really, really good. And I'm really excited about that because, again, it just helps us continue to scale the company. So Start Engine is just a great mechanism in the importance of investing and explaining to people that anybody can still actually invest in Fanbase. So tell people right now, the minimum to invest in Fanbase is $250. You can go to startengine.com/fanbase. You can put that at the bottom too if you want. Startengine.com/fanbase to invest. .com/fanbase to invest. And so you actually are buying shares in the company in a seed stage, which is unheard of because these opportunities.
$250?
$250, yeah.
Okay.
And what's important about that is often the opportunity to invest in a seed stage tech startup is only available to accredited investors and these VC companies that are already wealthy individuals. But in the realm of social media, we understand that the user is really the direct cause of the value of the company increasing. So who better to have a shot at equity than the people that are actually going to use the platform and make it more valuable? So that's really a great scenario to be in. Is like, look, I'm going to spend all my time on Instagram or Clubhouse anyway. Why not invest in the next startup, the next big social media startup? But this time I actually have a piece of the company. So as I move and transition over to using that, I'm also an owner of the platform. So when this thing scales to 100 million users, 1 billion users, I'm going to make a lot of money at whatever point we IPO or exit from the company. And I think that's significant.
So is your goal to remain an owner, or is your goal to make a bunch of Black people millionaires, the biggest distribution of wealth that's ever done by, scaling it up to wherever it goes to? Like, what is more important to you? Because, ownership is a big deal. You being the CEO and the founder and Black, and that's huge. That's groundbreaking.
Either way, it would still be a large distribution. So whether Fanbase is acquired somewhere in the future or that we IPO and go public on the stock exchange, either way, everybody will be able to cash out their stock at that point or get bought out. So it's a win-win either way. Remaining a private company indefinitely would probably not be the best thing to do, because at that point, there is no real way for users or investors to really get out of the investment. So the most logical thing is to actually IPO and exit. IPO and go public or exit, which will turn, a significant portion of people, thousands and thousands, almost 6,000 or 7,000 people that have invested in this platform into individuals that are making anywhere from, $500,000, $1 million, all the way up to, 250 million, crazy amounts of money for the people that have invested in Fanbase. So I think it's important, and that's great. That'll be the greatest, story of all time. That'll be a GOAT type story. Like, all these people invested in this startup and it went public or it got acquired and everybody got all this money, which is, crazy. And
the fact that it was founded and conceived by a Black man. I mean, it's like Moses.
I see what you did there. So we haven't been here in a while though, right? I think the most successful and the trailblazing, pioneering, startup in social media founded by African Americans was probably Black Planet, right? And that was 2021. That's 21 years ago, right? And so you got to think we haven't really had a shot like this in 21 years. But we've shown over the last 21 years the importance and value that we bring to social media startups. So we definitely should have, at least one platform like a Facebook or Instagram or a TikTok that is Black founded. We should at least have one. Knowing the benefit that we are to our culture, we should at least have one, and so Fanbase can be that one. And I think it will change the perception and the equitable opportunity for people on social media by being Black founded. We approach things differently at Fanbase. We don't throttle down content, like these other platforms that are ad-based that do that because they're ad-based. We want everybody to see your posts. We want you to have as much visibility as possible, as much reach as possible. We want you to have millions of followers. We don't want to limit or suppress that for the benefit of our bottom line, which is what platforms like Instagram have to do. Yeah, they have to do that.
They do that because that's their business model. So they're in competition with the users.
Absolutely. Yeah. Instagram is in competition with its user because why would they give you for free what they charge corporations? The reach and visibility that, if I want to sell an app or promote a TV show or a product and I want to reach 1 million, 2 million, 10 million people and pay for that, why would they let you do that with the following that you already have for free? Because if you can reach that many people, it's more of an authentic interaction to come directly to the user and say, sell this product for us on our behalf and we'll pay you. And then we won't even pay Instagram. And so,
and they say, like, you gonna cut out the middleman,
right? So they got to smush your post all the way down to
and they do.
Yeah, about 3 to 4% of your following sees your content. Not if you got 1 million followers, then you might have, I would say 60,000 people see your post, right?
Wow.
Out of 1 million people that follow you, which is significant.
That's a huge gap. But now you said, you were strategic in how you were on Clubhouse and brought people because you already knew what you had cooking in the back, but you couldn't release it or whatever. Okay, now you don't release this thing, okay? And you said that it's not about when. You said it's not about if they come to Fanbase, it's when. So you're not worried or miffed or a little frustrated that we actually now have an app where a Black man has founded it. And where the leaked stuff from Fanbase? Where's the viral content from your app? Because we have just a handful of Black artists that could just, to me, blow this up in 10 days.
Well, I mean, it's all about marketing, right? We haven't spent any money marketing the app. And so Clubhouse had an enormous amount of marketing, word of mouth marketing too, but actually, publications, like imagine if, TechCrunch and Gizmodo and all these platforms were talking about.
A big difference. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Right. It's a big difference. So we really haven't spent any money on marketing, other than word of mouth. And then it takes time because people are really invested into the social media platforms that they spent years on. You got to think, if you're still on Instagram and you were on there in the beginning, you've been on Instagram for 12 years, right? Yeah. That's like a long time. It's like over a decade.
You don't have to abandon Instagram. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to abandon. You could just be polyamorous with this thing,
Absolutely.
and add Fanbase.
You could have your mistress, right? And really, but really, like I tell people all the time, date apps, right? You should date apps. Yeah. You should definitely date apps because you never know what type of relationship you might wind up having with a different platform that might serve you better. Loyalty is not the best thing when it comes to technology, because you never know the best relationship might be with a platform that you're ignoring or not, going out on that date with that could change your mind in the way that Snapchat changed DJ Khaled's life, or the way that TikTok changed Jason Derulo's life for the better if they would have remained loyal to the previous startups. And so you should always try new startups. So I jump on anything that comes out just to see what it is and check the vibe. And then, but with fan base is a little bit different because now we're getting into the space of paying people for their content. It's a whole different ballgame. Now it's not about just likes and views. It's actual real dollars and cents. And the amount of money that people are leaving on the table is incredible amounts of money, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
I saw those posts that you were doing that showed different
Yeah.
superstars who were leaving so much money on the table by not utilizing fan base to its ultimate potential. And it was lots and lots of money.
It's real though. When you think about, like, let's say, let's the Beehive is about 10 million people. Beyonce has about 200 million followers. She has more than that, but she has like over 200 million followers on social media. But if you just take, 5% of 200 million people, which is 10 million people around the world, which is the Beehive, right?
Yeah.
If they pay her, $2.50 a month, that's $25 million a month. That's $300 million a year, right?
And the Beehive will. Beehive will.
Right, exactly. Beehive is gonna pay for Beyonce, so that money is being left on the table by her. $300 million a year is being left on the table by her by not exercising her ability to create the phenomenal content that she does anyway, with her videos, with her touring, with all the amazing things, her products like Ivy Park, but being able to create additional content that's exclusive to the Beehive, right? That her group of fans, her fan base, that they get to participate in that. She's leaving that money on the table, and so are someone that has 100,000 followers is leaving 5,000 fans, unattended and not monetizing those 5,000 people, which again is still $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year, which is better than 96% of Americans if you're making 120 grand. So that's what I mean by this is the future. This is going to happen.
Yeah, Instagram is bringing in subscriptions and where you can pay now. Like, I don't know if they stole it from you or it's just a part of the ether now. But
I won't say that they stole it, but I will say that the other platforms that have offered subscriptions have been around for 6-7 years. Patreon's been around since 2013, right?
Yeah.
OnlyFans has been around since 2016. They're 8 years in. We're the new
but
kid.
Now all of a sudden, fan base, and it's like, bam!
It's like, hold up, he's black, so that means he got the culture, right?
They know that we bring the vibranium. They know that we bring that.
Absolutely, so for sure. So it's like, we need to do something, because if he gets the culture and he's the tech, then where do we exploit the machine for our benefit, right? And so there's always exploitation when it comes to social media. Somebody's being exploited, right, in one way or another, or mutual exploitation, right? Which it used to be mutual exploitation, but now it's not really anymore. It's like, I'm not really getting out of the social networks what I used to get. Now I'm just being exploited. I'm giving you all this content, and you're making in the tune of $86 billion in 2020, which was Facebook and Instagram together in ad revenue. But what am I getting at? I can't even reach all my followers. So what am I really getting out of it? So it's not mutual. If it was, I think it would be a good situation, because then there would be the ability for people that have subscriptions on Instagram to actually reach all their following. Like, how do you offer somebody subscriptions but still limit the ability for people to even discover them? So it's still kind of weird. You know what I mean? It's like, it's still a catch-22 for them, because for the ability for someone to have a subscriber, you still have to allow them to market that opportunity to people, but still they're only going to allow you to market that opportunity to 3 to 4% of the people. So it's still not the best mechanism in doing that. But in fan base, we're going to market that to everybody. Like, here, you go live and you got 1 million followers, we're sending out 1 million notifications. That's how, we're going to let this thing work.
Well, at first I was just like, oh my gosh, how come everybody's not, jumping in on fan base? And then you just tell me that you haven't marketed. So therefore you've been marketing this thing like door to door. And I've been hearing about it so much more. Go to fan base. I'm taking my stuff to fan base from Roland Martin, like, people who have large followings. And I just want to address like the mentality in terms of the white man's ice being colder, because I saw an interview where you said, And I know this to be true because I went to Clark Atlanta University. I left a white experience from K through 12 to go to an HBCU just for what you grew up with, which is being doctors, lawyers, dentists who were Black. So you never felt inferior to the mainstream race, which is probably why you're groundbreaking today, because you see yourself just like Zuckerberg, just like, Jack Dorsey, and that's what you should. But how do we train our people who don't have that mentality to, embrace fan base, because I think Roland Martin shared a story where somebody asked him, when are you going to be on TV again? And he said, I got a show on TV One every day. And he's like, no, I mean a real show. Like what? So are people saying, no, I mean a real social network? Like, no, not fan base, like Instagram. Yeah, well, a couple things.
Not even counting myself, in the city of Atlanta, you got to think of all the music industry entrepreneurs. You have to think of the TV and film icons in Tyler Perry and Will Packer who reside here, right? You have to think of Ryan Wilson from The Gathering Spot. You have to think of Pinky Cole with Slutty Vegan. You have to think of Tracy Pickett with Herbrella. You have to think of so many people, Jay Carter with One Music Fest. All of these individuals that are allowed to dream and pursue and think without limitation based off of prejudice or bigotry or racism or white supremacy, because in Atlanta, the sky is the limit in what you try to accomplish, because we're at the seat of political power. Not that we're supreme, but it's just like, okay, we have a level playing field. Everybody has a shot, right?
It felt kind of supreme when I was there, Isaac. It felt kind of supreme.
Well, it's pride because it's different to see yourself in not a minority position, right? It's a different feeling to see yourself not as someone that, feels uncomfortable going to the most, prestigious schools or esteemed neighborhoods in the city and not feeling like you're going to get run out of there because of the color of your skin. It's just a different energy. It gives you a different feeling about yourself, right? So you don't have any inferior thoughts. Your mind is open to whatever you think you can achieve because you've never seen anything other than that. You have real life examples sitting right next to you. You have the mayor, you have H.J. Russell, you have Bronner Brothers. You see all these people, John Wesley Dobbs. You see all these people throughout history become, very, very successful entrepreneurs, even through the Jim Crow South and the Civil Rights era. Like, okay, we ain't got nothing stopping us from here. So for everybody else that lives in other places where they're not at the seat of power, then that's the only thing that they know. All we know is fighting the system, right? If you live in, a place where you do not have any political power, all you know is fighting the system that oppresses you, which is a lot of that, which is exhaustive, right? It's very, very exhaustive. So the mentality, the mindset that it puts you in is my only way to achieve success is allyship or breaking through white supremacy. I either have to partner with it or I have to break. Those are the only two things those are the only outcomes, which is why, I've seen a lot of my peers invest in white founded startups that are attempting to duplicate what Fanbase does, as opposed to investing in Fanbase itself, because that's what they know, right? That's what people know. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and invest in this startup because they believe that is the way to the top. And both can be true. You can ally, you can partner and ally with white founded startups, which is totally fine. But you can also, simultaneously at the same time, we can build Black companies that don't have to fight this battle, which is what happens all the time in Atlanta. Like, there's living proof of hundreds of individuals that have done this through multiple sectors.
Yes. But I love that, even though you probably have experienced that at some level, you seem to still have a lot of grace. Like you understand, like you seem to be very empathetic that their mindset is that because of what they weren't privy to. No, I'm not. I'm not you
mad.
Don't seem mad at all. I like that.
No, I'm not, because that's because I understand it. It's like when you think about it, people are shaped by their experiences, what they know. And without ever, having a different alternative perspective, it really changes things. It's like where you live really affects the way that you view the world. It can have such a different opinion of how you view things, right? How you feel about government, law enforcement, your own people, other people. So what black people may feel about black people in one city, black people in Atlanta feel differently about black people, or even white and black relationships, all of those things, how we do business together, it's just a different energy. So it's very important to understand that we are not all the same. Everybody doesn't have the benefit of being at the seat of political power. You have no choice on where you grow up and where you're born and where you exist. But so in getting people to join Fanbase, I know that it's going to take time because you're trying to really undo a lot of the thinking that I think has existed for so long. You just kind of got to like show people that there's a different way. And once people get it, they get it. Like, because remember, people move to Atlanta and they be like, yo, this is different. Like, I don't want to go back to Cincinnati. Like,
I was one of those people. I went to college. Okay.
Right.
I was one of those people for at least 5 years. Yeah.
Right. I'm cool. I don't want to really, I like it over here. Like this is popping. So I feel like, it's a very, it's a culture shock to get off an airplane and see an entire airport, most staffed and employed, black people from all levels, from the top to the bottom. Right. It's just weird. It's like,
no, I was so shell shocked. I was like, I've never seen so many black people that I wasn't related to. Like it was, right. I really had to breathe because I was always the fly in the buttermilk and the situation that I came from K through 12. So to see all these black people from different parts of the world coming together to go to school was like amazing.
Now, I'll give you an alternative perspective. I have seen people come from other places and have that experience and feel uncomfortable by that. Like, it's a lot of black people. Where's the diversity? Where's the diversity? Like, it's so many black people and they're black. Right. And so when you hear that, you're like, oh, I get it. Like, because the only thing about this, like when I hear the diversity conversation, right? The only people that scream for diversity are minorities. Right. So Atlanta's not a place where it's like, it's a bunch of black people. It's like, you know what we need? We need some more white people, some more Asian people. Like you've never seen an all white neighborhood ever be like, we need some gay people, some Muslims, some black people, some Asian people to move into the neighborhood so we can have diversity. Diversity is only a thought of a person that is a minority, right? Or a disenfranchised person because they're looking for equality instinctively, right? In their mind, they're like, yo, I want to see myself represented amongst every sector, every facet. So you fight for that mentally. So when you see when you come from the minority and then you come into the majority, you automatically, it's the perception of.
I saw so much diversity. I saw so much diversity in black people, New York, Caribbean, like just the style, like we are not the same. Okay. We are a collective.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I saw the diversity just within us, which was so exciting and breathtaking for me from where I came from, And one of the people, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said for sure. I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the people that I met in school, I found out in the comments of one of your Instagram posts was your former publicist, Didi Cochetta. Like I met her and I fell in love with her two oldest sons. They're like my god babies. Like I said, I know you probably gonna have a whole bunch of other kids, which he did. But these are my two right here. And I used to get them all the time, taking can you give us a memory of her just for her boys, just for me, because I knew her and she passed away from breast cancer. So
Didi was always ahead of the curve.
Always.
Right? She told me get on Twitter when nobody was on Twitter. Like she was like, listen, I'm telling you, it's gonna be big. And I'm like, what? I got on there. And this, right, this is the perfect example. Didi is the reason why I have so much patience with Fanbase, right? Because she would tell me to get on Twitter and I got on there and nobody was on there. It was a ghost town. I got on Twitter in like 2008. There wasn't nobody on Twitter. I posted a tweet. Nobody would respond to me. I'm like, what am I doing here? It's a waste of my time. I'm not getting any engagement. It was frustrating. So I left, right? And then Michael Jackson died, and then everybody came to Twitter. And then that's when it got popping. It's this viral moment that's where the news about him passing away happened on Twitter. Then everybody said, well, what's Twitter? Then everybody got on it, and then the light bulb went off like, oh, this is where you come to find out what's going on before the news even knows what's going on. Everything is breaking here. because it's coming from the people themselves. It's coming from the artist. It's coming from the athlete. It's coming from the victim. It's coming from whoever, right? Like you find that out, like somebody just took my purse at so-and-so and so-and-so. And it's like the news, before you file a police report, tell the story, all that, everything's happening. So all these, it takes time for people to discover. And then when that discovery happens, and when that light bulb moment goes off, and then it's a mad rush, then it becomes, okay, everybody's going to be the thing. Like I said, I always refer to like fan base as a nightclub. And right now it's like 10:30, right? The doors opened at 10. It's like 10:30. So it's still freezing inside. You can easily get to the bar. It's not a lot of people in there, right? But once it hits about 12:30, 1 a.m., that's when everybody's going to pull up. But it's going to be a gradual process. It's going to slowly start to fill up. And then somebody going to come to the club, and they're like, so-and-so's in there right now. And then everybody's going to pull up, and it's going to be the most popping thing you ever heard of. And that's why I say it's not if, it's just when. It's only a matter of time before some famous person says something about fan base in a way that triggers a viral moment. There's FOMO, and everybody bum rushes the app, and then people get inside and see what it's all about. And they're like, oh, okay, we got to stay here. This is popping. Like, I get it now. Because that's the reaction that most people have when they get on the platform. Most people have the reaction when they get on fan base. They're like, oh, this is cool. Like, you put Clubhouse and you put TikTok and Instagram, and you can get paid, and OnlyFans and Patreon, and I'm here all together, and it's Black owned, and we're not getting shadow banned, and oh, I'm with it. Like, okay, this is a vibe. So once people catch the vibe, it's going to change everything, because we'll be able to raise more money, build a better product, market more, which all these other startups have always had the advantage to do. So I can't wait.
Nice. I mean, that club metaphor remind me of the ladies free before 11, you know, and later on, here come all the fellas, because they already know that fan base.
The girls is here. The girls is over here, which actually might be a good marketing strategy. Now that you think, I might need to just market exclusively to women, and then once all the women are over there,
listen, my audience is 70% Black women, so absolutely that would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
All the women pull up, and the fellas be like, "Where the girls at? They over in fan base,
always and forever."
That's a good idea. You triggered something there. You really be thinking like, yeah, maybe we just need to market exclusively to women. Because once all the girls is over here, the fellas is gonna pull up like, where? Like, the women are gone. Where they at? Oh, they over in fan base.
Yes.
Let's go.
That was a smart marketing thing back then, you know.
Put your good shoes on.
And what people don't realize about TikTok is, like, I think it was Musically like a decade ago. Like, you know, they think TikTok just appeared, but it's had several, you know, transformations to get to where it's popping now. So the same thing.
Both versions, both Musically and TikTok, were still both Asian apps. They pioneered this short form video. So all credit to them. They really pioneered this era, right? And they really dominate this era, even above Instagram, which is why Instagram's trying to play catch up to them. They dominate. They invented this thing. But ByteDance was founded in 2012, and I think Musically and TikTok, I think they were acquired or combined in like 2016. So it's still been a short amount of time. You got to think in 6 years that app has grown to a very, very massive, you know, it's bigger than Instagram. You know what I'm saying? TikTok is just a lot larger, and it's because it's capturing the youth. Like, these kids are a lot more tech savvy. They can edit videos, and, you know, we've been building our version of what short form video is going to be called Flips on Fanbase.
Yes, I can't wait for it. Is it here yet?
No, it's coming. It's coming this month. It'll be Flips isn't coming in February. So I'm gonna you know, say that even further. But yeah, the young people know how to edit. You know, they know how to use the internet, edit and chop and add video and text and all that. See, people
they
probably
learn it quick too. They learn.
Yeah,
they're on there all the time. You know what I'm saying? They on there all the time. They innovate, but it's a lot. Listen, it's been influx with a whole another generation. TikTok's not just for the teenagers, the moms, and so we're looking for that to happen to fan base too.
That's to the benefit of newer apps, though, right? I always say that, like, I feel like there's no amount of innovation that Facebook and Instagram can do to capture the youth, because kids are always going to want to be on platforms that their parents are not on. My mama got on Facebook. I left Facebook. Peace. Right? I'm on Instagram. My little brother won't come anywhere near it He's somewhere between Snapchat and TikTok, right? That's where he's 15 going on 16 this year. So he's building his community. He doesn't want to build it around his grandmother or somebody his grandmother's age, his mom's age. He wants to build his social life with his peers. So kids are always going to migrate to newer spaces away from older people. But then we want to be cool and then come and crash at TikTok, and it's like, now it's
doing over there. What y'all yes?
What dance thing y'all doing? What you dabbing? What are you dabbing? Whatever. You know, coming there dabbing in 2021 like it's new. Like, no. So they're like,
well,
I'm out.
I really love this quote that you said, and I want to get it right, so I'm gonna look down and read it. It's an amazing quote about being your dad's kid. You said, you don't have to be him to be great, but you will be great because of him. At what point in your life did you embrace that? You know, because I mean, all kids of famous parents, you know, probably has to deal with that in some way.
My dad's situation was unique because you can only be the first African-American man to win an Oscar for an Academy Award. So I'm like, well, that's hard. I mean, that's a hard one to beat unless I can control time, right? But I had a passion for music. But one of the things that it made me that the reason why that quote I think is so relevant is because sometimes we get locked into a particular goal that we have, right? And don't understand that we have a broader set of skills that can apply in different areas, right? So the moment that I decided that I was great at communication and I was creative,
which you great at it. You great at it. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. But like once I knew I had a skill set that I could apply to different things, my life changed, right? It wasn't all about breaking through in the music industry because I think I had done enough to my satisfaction that I was able to make a living and pay all my bills comfortably. So once I said, well, let me try this in the political arena, or let me try this in the tech space, or, you know, in anywhere that I feel like I can do, then the work ethic is the part that I take with me from my father, right? The creativity, the will, the work ethic, right? So that is why I'll be great, because I get that from him, right? I don't have to be a musician. I don't have to be a producer, but I can be a tech founder. I can be a marketer. I can be any type of creator that I want to be. But the reason that I will be successful is because of the energy and the work ethic and the passion that he had for his craft, which I have as well. And I got that from him.
What kind of dad was he? And would he be so proud of you right now?
I think my dad would be amazed, honestly, to tell you the truth, because he was a gadget guy, a tech dude. He loved it. He would be like, you built an app. Like, I honestly think he would be prouder of this than anything I could have ever done in music, because it's something different. It goes beyond, like, it's cool. It's great that you follow in your footsteps, but going beyond something different, like, yo, you went over here. Like, you have no skills on how to do this. You're, you know, like, and it's really, you know, something that I think is groundbreaking. I think he'd be more proud of the fact that I was a tech founder than a musician. Absolutely.
What's your mama saying?
Oh my God, my mom is my biggest fan. My mother sends me scriptures. She sends me articles from you know, psychology magazines, really just to always keep my head in the game, you know, to teach me about. She's a very cerebral person. She's very emotional, but she's also a person that understands the psychology of people, right? So that's kind of how I am. You know, you got to understand human nature to build a human nature machine in social media. So, and, you know, and always to say, look, you know, trust your instincts, your gut. She's my biggest cheerleader, always has been, always will be. She lurks on my page. She got a little burner account that she follows me on Instagram to see what I post and what's going on. So she's always there. Yeah.
So your dad is looking from above, going.
Yeah, I'm always looking from behind. And she's like, what's going on? Right.
And your mom sending you scriptures. Oh man, ain't nothing like a mother's love. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
Undeniable, man. It's really, I don't ever want to take it for granted because I'm so busy, but I often have to say, stop, read what your mom just sent you, absorb it. I know you're busy, you got meetings, but there's always relevance and importance into what your parents are always trying to give you. They love you. They know you the best. They only want the best for you. They're wise. You know what I'm saying? They know things that you don't know. They've been here. They've done things. So absorb all the game you can have while you have them. And so I just do that.
But what I love about your story is like how I want to know like how you were so driven just in the beginning, because you're somebody who, you know, saved the party for later. Like you put the work up front. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about Atlanta when I lived there, when I heard you talking about getting on the bus, taking the train, and getting on another bus to get to your first job out of high school. Because when I did an internship in Atlanta, it's the first time I took, you know, the MARTA, I had to take a bus down to 5 Points, then take another train, then take another way out to Peachtree, Dunwoody to intern at Sony. And I was like, God damn, it was,
Right.
you know, I'm going to school. It's 2 days or 3 days a week. I mean, I actually failed a class because I was so, you know, going with the transportation and being there. I'm like, no, I didn't come to school to fail for an internship that's for free. So when I heard your story, that's awesome. And you said you haven't taken transportation since then, public transportation. So what did just grinding that early, how did it make you be a CEO in your mind instead of an employee? Because you said America kind of trains us all to be employees instead of CEOs. So talk about how
you did your research. I like that.
Huh?
You do your research. I know about you. You be saying you've been dropping gems. Things that I said. Oh, she did her research. No, for sure. Well, I think that I'm a person that I always say I live my life how I eat my crab legs. You know, that's a, you know, and that's a question, right? And so I tell people all the time, how do you eat your crab legs? And they say, I crack a crab leg and then I eat it. And I crack another one and I eat it. And I'm like, well, that's the most inefficient way to really enjoy crab legs. Right. The most effective way to enjoy crab legs is crack all them mugs and then have this really giant pile of meat that you can just throw in the microwave for like 15 seconds.
Smart.
And then eat. So it's like you work, right? And then you feast. And I heard TD Jakes say that. He goes, in the morning we devour the prey, and in the evening we divide the spoils. So while you're young, while you have time, while you have energy in your body, work. The club's not going anywhere. These girls ain't going anywhere. Matter of fact, makeup's getting better. BBLs is getting better. Like everything is getting better. Like fashion. It's just, you know, media, like the ability to really meet really attractive women is like way different than it was in 1995. Like you only saw people you saw. If I ain't physically see you, I didn't know you. So it's only going to get easier, right? So, so that's how I always have it. I'm just like, look, I mean, I'm a work, because most of the people that enjoy those spoils, divide those spoils in the morning, wind up having to work later. You know what I'm saying? And so I would much rather live my life the way I've been living. Like I live my life like a big kid. I mean, if you could see you see my office, so I don't know if you see it, but it's very colorful. Right? I have a lot of fun little gadgets. I got a video game over here. I fly drones. I wear t-shirt and sneakers every day. Like, and that's because I spent, you know, a good portion of my 20s, you know, isolated, learning how to hustle, not only as a producer, as a voiceover artist, as an engineer, as someone that knows how to use Photoshop and Microsoft Word. And I just had a bunch of skills that I learned how to use. And so I had no girlfriend, I had no car, I had no clothes, I had no money. It sounds like, coming from a child of a famous father, please don't, I got a lot of brothers and sisters. The money was not I don't think I just grew up rich. It was not the case. You know, I lived a very, very normal life. So it just taught me, like, look, man, you can mess around with these girls and do all this stuff, or you can grind. And so what it did is it allowed me to actually create my own path in life as an entrepreneur, as opposed to being an employee, because again, like I get to wake up and do what I love every single day, and wear a t-shirt and jeans doing it. I'm with it. Like, that's the most gangster for me.
Can you tell us how to fail? Like, if you want to be a great entrepreneur, you said you have to learn how to fail. Like, how, you know, what lesson took you the longest to learn, and how, give us a mindset of how we can embrace failure to, you know, be that entrepreneur like you.
Well, I was fortunate learning from the music industry, because music industry is built on rejection. Like, not built on it, but it's a very big part. It's a what do I want to say? It's a farming system. It is you know, the best of the best have to come through these doors. They have to make these records. They have to write these songs. They have to audition. They have to submit their songs to record companies, and they pick from the best. So you're always going to get told that might not be the single. That's not the hit. So you get told no so much. We want to sign you, but we're going to pass. So if you don't learn to take rejection, like rejection is just part of the process, right? Some people get rejected one time and they're crushed. They give up. Like, nah, like, I want to be a singer. You suck. I'm done with this shit. Like, that's what people say. Like, you know, they get one, you know, they get crushed. But you better get used to that, because once you get used to that, it's just like, okay, it's normal. Because everything that ever was in this world, everything that ever existed, like every app, every label, every song, every invention, every political candidate, every business that was built, there was always somebody that told them that ain't gonna work, and they still had to ignore, right? Yeah, they had to, I know it affected you. It might have sowed seeds of doubt, but they still kept moving forward, and so that's part of it. Because if someone just says, I don't think you can. You can't put strings with like organs and guitars and bass and soul music, Isaac Hayes. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And now you can't unimagine R&B without strings and flutes in it. You can't unimagine hip hop without orchestrations and stuff like that. And he was the first to do it. So if somebody would have told him that's a dumb idea and he just didn't do it, somebody else would have eventually done it, because they would have persevered. They would have pushed through. So my dad was like, look, man, y'all can tell me this stuff is stupid if you want to, but I'm finna put flutes and these orchestras over this wah-wah guitar, and we finna see what it do. And we gonna let the people decide. And so
if the people decided that he gonna win an Oscar, how about that?
That is exactly what I'm saying. Is like, that's what I mean. You can't doubt yourself, because I grew up knowing that, right? My mom used to tell me that all the time. They used to tell me all the time. They used to say it was dumb that no one's ever gonna listen to a song with a big monologue in the front that's like 12 minutes long and it's got orchestras and strings in it. That's dumb. It's not gonna work. And so I seen it. I'm come from the house that it worked in. So I'm like, there's nothing you can't tell me that's not going to not work, because I seen it. My parents used to tell me that all the time. They used to say that's never going to happen. Like that, you know, ain't nobody going to let him win no Oscar. I have no reason to believe otherwise than anything is possible, because I come from that. You know what I'm saying? I seen it firsthand. It was like, you know, I can't complain about nothing. I can't say that.
He was like the third. He was the first to win for music, but he was the third person, black person, period, ever. History. Ever.
It was Hattie McDaniel, Sidney Poitier, and Isaac Hayes. So you got to think about that. That's like
the third. Like, oh my goodness, what amazing!
I can't have a disbelief in anything. I can't doubt anything. I ain't got no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then here's the thing. Whenever have black people had it like in this country, like a fair shake at anything? And we still make the dopest stuff, right? Yeah, we still break through it and create
that people
culture.
Want to copy, that people want to copy and emulate and just get a little piece of the sauce. Can I just get what's dropped off your plate? Like, they want any little piece of it, you know.
We are the manufacturers, we are the inventors of culture and trend, right? Yeah. And that's a multi-billion-dollar business. And now,
you about to be a billionaire.
Yes.
With fan
I'm
base.
gonna claim that. I'm claiming that. I said it.
Claiming it too.
I'm claiming it.
I'm claiming it too.
You got to put it. You have to put that energy into the universe, so that it returns for you, because you got to speak it into existence. As I say, as my mother always says, speak it into existence. So absolutely, positive affirmation, words of affirmation. Drawing that energy to you. So yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna say otherwise. I'm not gonna say no. I don't think I'm gonna be. No, we all finna be rich.
I love that.
We finna run this thing up. You know what I'm saying?
I have an Isaac Hayes lightning round.
Okay.
That I wanted to go through. Is there anything else about fan base that you want to share with us? Other than
look, download the app. Invest. I tell people all the time, you might not get this opportunity again. We're stopping at 2.6 million. We're almost at 1.5. Startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Minimum is $250. Yeah. Minimum invest now for $250. Thank you so much for that. I'm absolutely sure that will help. But yeah, just own a part of the platforms that you use. But I'm ready for this lightning round. Let's go.
All right. Early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Guilty pleasure?
anything like sweet, like sweets.
What's your favorite dessert?
I have a favorite dessert to make, and I have a favorite dessert.
Okay.
I'm a cake and cookie type of guy. I love making cheesecake though. I can make the best cheesecake you ever heard in your life. I can make the best cheesecake ever.
What kind? Any kind, or just strawberry?
Banana pudding, sweet potato, plain with strawberries, vanilla bean, eggnog, Oreo.
Jesus. You're gonna have to get you a nice little restaurant on the side.
Absolutely.
So your favorite food is desserts, or what's your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yes.
Anything like pasta-ish, Italian-ish, like pizza, spaghetti, lasagna. Oh, I love it.
Best
cheesy mozzarella to a cheese. Ooh, that's so bad. It's so bad, but oh my god,
yummy. Best restaurant in Atlanta to you?
Ooh. Honestly, there's so many.
Okay.
You have to say a specific food, and I have to tell you best whatever.
Soul food.
I don't know the best soul food in Atlanta.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of them too, though. That's what I'm saying. It's like Busy Bees, and it's just so many places that you can get really good soul food. KK Soul Food, Pascal's.
Okay. Oh, Pascal's. I remember Pascal's.
Right.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of good soul food in the city. I would say that. I mean, best vegan fast food, Slutty Vegan.
Yes, I haven't tasted it, but I feel I can smell it through the screen.
Oh, you gotta have some Slutty Vegan. I think the best Mexican is Nuevo Laredo, which is like in the neighborhood that I'm in over here. I mean, there's a lot. Atlanta got some good food. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to hear a few, so folks.
Oh yeah.
Folks can go down and support. Favorite song by your dad?
Ooh. I'm trying to think. Probably. I mean, I still think "Walk On By" is probably one of my favorites. I have some like stuff that people don't really know that listen to, but I just think from the energy, like the creativity of what it means, that's such a special moment, right? Because it's like the first time your ears hear something they never heard before. When you hear it, it's like when people hear that for the first time, they like, what is this? Like, I have no idea what I just heard, but it's like the most gangster thing ever.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. Favorite song by you? Favorite song that you produced?
Of course, I'm gonna say "Money in the Bank" by Lil Scrappy, Young Buck, because it just changed my life. It was a game changer for me.
Can we hear a line from your favorite voiceover job?
I don't feel like doing it now. I don't do it.
It's fine. Next.
No, I don't want to do it. I mean, I've been the voice of the Georgia Lottery in Atlanta for like years. Like, people say, "That's you." I'll say my line is, "Tune in to WSB for your chance to win, and check out the Players Club at galottery.com." And people hear that all the time and be like, "That's you."
That's you.
That was you.
That's you.
I didn't know that.
How can we keep Atlanta blue?
I mean, voting, right?
Voting, yes.
And not listen. And I'll say this: getting out of our feelings.
Yeah.
Politics is not personal; it's passionate. And I think we are motivated by personal self-interest, which is actually the wrong thing to do. Okay. Saying I'm going to vote for this person because I got cracks in my sidewalk, and damn everything else. We have to move as a unit. We have to understand what politics and power creates, what opportunity it creates for people, right? The opportunity it creates for someone to have a chance to build a business or, gain employment amongst all of us. So in a state like Georgia, we have to keep our eye, on the bigger prize of leadership. It's so many people just, are blame the president for things that have nothing to do with the president, right? Or they blame the mayor for things that have nothing to do with the mayor. So then they check out. I'm like, let me tell you, people on the other side, number one, they know the game, they know exactly who is in power, and they vote based off those things. While you're getting mad and saying, "Well, I'm not gonna vote because it doesn't do anything for me." They're like, "We know exactly what it does for us. You just don't know, and we're going to vote for it."
Yes.
And that's the difference. So
I wish I could vote for Stacey Abrams, even though I don't live there. Like,
we're gonna need all the help we can get. They lining up to try to stop Stacey. So of course.
Yes, I know you're going to be supporting. I know you're going to be supporting big time. Finally, I want one word to describe the following people, places, or things. Ready? Okay. Monique Idlet.
I'm trying to think of the word. Like a blessing, like a game changer. It was and I'll expound upon this a little bit. Everybody has, your life is a summation of a percentages of influence and your own being, meaning you might be 99%, but the 1%, without it, things don't happen. So without Monique suggesting that I try Start Engine to raise capital, we would not be here right now in this position. So you always have to be mindful of the people that offer words of encouragement or little nuggets of wisdom. You have to do the work, but listen. Yeah. Because that was a like, should I raise money with venture capital or should I go this route? She's like, go this way, you went this way, and the rest is history. So,
That's amazing. Blessing.
Yeah.
Angela Benton.
2 back-to-back blessings.
Dawn Dixon.
3 in a row.
Jewel Burks.
I'm gonna tell you why though.
Okay.
So all of those women, those 4 women you just named, they offered their knowledge in ways that a lot of people
Black
don't.
women too. Black women.
So I my early questions about tech. I went to Jewel Burks, who's the head of Google Startups North America. She gave me the initial game, things that I needed to put in my deck, ways that I need to approach, building my startup, how I hire people, how I do that. Monique made the suggestion to go to Start Engine. Angela Benton made the intro email. Like, you need to talk to Isaac. I've seen Fanbase, and I think it's dope. It would be a good fit for Start Engine. And Dawn, who is a fundraising, trailblazer, taught me the game and how to raise capital. So those 4 Black women together are the reason that Fanbase exists and we're able to do the things that we do, because they were unselfish with their knowledge, which is rare, from time to time, especially people sometimes get a little, protective of spaces and access and all that kind of stuff. So I think all 4 of them, I think they're all equally responsible for where we are right now.
So how about Barry Givens and Justin Dawkins?
Blessings, 5 and 6? Again, because they're colleagues with Jewel. And so Barry and Justin are the other ones, man. I know. I need to cut them a check for as much free game as they gave me. Like, listen, bothering them or how, because I'd never built a startup before, and they have all been successful in that space. So, but a place like the Gathering Spot is where I met them. So this, so again, it's all these things, these little nudges, and we're all just like particles moving. We collide with one another, and with these chance encounters or these spaces, or we're drawn to places like the Gathering Spot that allow us. The Gathering Spot did exactly what it was supposed to do, was designed to do. It brought me in that space so I can meet those people. And that's it. Fanbase wouldn't exist if I hadn't become a Gathering Spot member. It's those things that are just like all these random acts of random blessings that happen that you just have to always acknowledge and don't ever take for granted.
How amazing that, like, all these people from these top corners of the world in tech, did you manifest that? Did you attract them to you? Like, that's amazing.
I can't say that I did. I think I'm a person that always takes advantage of every opportunity. I'm not a shy person. So if I see an opportunity to speak to people and want to learn something, I'm not too prideful or afraid to ask. You can't be too afraid to ask something you don't know. So I just think I just did what I, know how to do, which is bother the shit out of people to get what I want.
I love it. I love it.
Be a pest. I tell everybody, you got to be a pest to get what you want. You can't take.
You
You don't have to be. You don't have to be
Go
an asshole, right? You don't have to be a jerk.
No.
You have to be persistent. I tell this movie, everybody, if you ain't never watched The Founder, the story of Ray Kroc at McDonald's, watch it. It'll change your life.
Yeah, I think I did see that. No, I think I did see that. You have to
Ray
be
Kroc was a savage. He's
have
like,
to
I'm
be
gonna get
psyched
that franchise. He's like, I'm gonna get that McDonald's. Y'all ain't because they weren't even doing the right thing with it. He's like, look, I see what this can be. Y'all ain't even doing it. I'm finna get this. He ain't stopped till he got it. He was like, man, I'm gonna get that. Y'all don't even know what you got. Y'all got Big Macs and French fries. Boy, I'm finna take y'all got franchise. I'm finna take this thing and run it up. It's it's a sweet and sour story because it's like it's great that what he accomplished, but dang, he had to be a gangster to do it.
Yeah, and I mean you do in some certain situations. Fan base. What's the one word that comes to mind for fan base?
I mean, revolutionary.
I love that word.
I think it's going to change the world.
Love it.
I don't know how good or how bad. Because I'm telling you, like I tell you, it's like because you got to think about like when you building things, you got to think about okay, what's the good that's going to come from it? What's the bad going to come from it? So we always weigh those. But I know that fan base is going to really give individuals the opportunity to emancipate themselves from like employment in certain ways, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all connected on the planet through in-app purchases and payments. So to be able to pay directly to someone for a skill set that they don't necessarily have to take to the workforce to actually exercise, right? So if you went to college for graphic design, but then you could just start a fan base page and teach graphic design and then make a living doing that as opposed to going to work for a company, it's going to emancipate people from that. And it's going to make people very, very wealthy, very, very fast. So I have no idea what, these future billionaires from being on Fanbase are going to do with their money. They could build, weapons of mass destruction or, end world hunger. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know.
We're going to wait and see, though. We're going to wait and see the documentary, the 2-day documentary, Isaac Hayes in 20 years. The
fan base story, like the social network, like how the fan base story, like how did this happen?
Exactly. Isaac Hayes, your dad, like what's the one word that comes to mind?
Genius.
Isaac Hayes III, what's the first word that comes to mind?
Probably just persistent. I'm the most persistent person I know.
And you need to be for what you're doing. It's groundbreaking. You have to have some extra worldly, terrestrial stuff going on with you and belief and all of that to accomplish.
You gotta have thick skin. You gotta have thick skin, and you gotta be a little. I'm not gonna say insensitive, but you have to just be very logical. You can never I don't take things personal. Yeah, it's hard. We're human, right? So sometimes it's like you don't want to get caught up in the taking things personal because we have a goal to accomplish. So I can't get, somebody doesn't use the app or someone says that the app sucks. I can't get mad, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a person's right? And everybody, is going to think what they think and believe what they believe. So I can't be bothered by that. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yes. Stay focused. Absolutely. I love that. Well, I can't let you go without getting this deep chocolate velvet voice to do a drop for me.
Okay.
You gotta do a drop for me.
Okay.
Just your name and you're watching Studio Q. I'm just gonna sit in silence.
Okay. Hello. This is Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and you're watching Studio Q. How'd I do? I did good.
Woo, that was excellent. Boy, did you not hear the tambourine?
That's a one-take Jake. We ain't got to do it again.
Yes. I love it.
We got to do it twice.
Yes, I love it. I just want to thank you because, I hit you up on Instagram in the comments, in the DM, and you were kind enough to agree to do this interview. So I appreciate it. I'm part of Fanbase when I was on Clubhouse. I signed up. I downloaded immediately when I heard it on Clubhouse, and I've been on it since.
Well, thank you. I mean, listen, I think it's important to reach as many people as you can. Like, this is campaigning. You do you take, when people reach out to you to do interviews and stuff like that, like, no, you do because you never know. Somebody might be watching this right now that changes, Fanbase for the better. The one investor that puts us over the top, the one person that joins the platform that becomes the most successful person. I've seen enough to know that you can never know where your blessings come from. So you take them, and if someone reaches out to you to help support your business, you do it.
I've been around long enough. I've been around long enough to know that people still say no. So thank you.
Me too. I mean, I get told no all the time too, so I get it.
So, I love your perspective, but still the gratitude I feel for you saying yes, I don't want that to go unnoticed, because I really do appreciate it. You didn't have to. So thank you. No,
thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this. This is probably the best interview that I've done out of any interviews. I think it was very, I think I've said some things that I have to remember that I said in this interview. After we watch it again, we're like, I remember that. I just freestyled that stuff. But we definitely gonna get the ladies on Fanbase. I remember that. We're definitely gonna get the ladies on Fanbase. We're gonna treat this like a nightclub. It's like ladies free for 11. All the ladies on Fanbase.
For real. I mean, cater to us. Cater to us.
The rest will take care of itself.
Well, listen, you done made my day just by that one line that it was a great interview. I appreciate that. That goes a long way for what I do. So, because I know you do a lot of interviews. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. I got like a couple more today, but I was like, we're going to keep going.
Well, thank you, Isaac. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on Fanbase. I'll see you on Instagram and everywhere else. Rallying the troops.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yay. All right. Talk to you soon. Peace.
All right. Bye-bye.
Now, all right. You guys, sorry for ignoring your comments, but when I'm doing interviews, I really just be drawn into the person and, trying to remember my questions and everything like that. But I want to let everybody know who came into the comments. Thank you. Thank you both for the work you do to bring awareness to the Black community. Thank you so much, Sarah Keys. Appreciate that. Let's see, awesome work for our future kids. JJ Buckley, thank you so much for that comment. Oh, I'll invest. Okay, Isaac gonna be looking for your investment. Go to startengine.com/fanbase. I think that's the lowest you can invest, $250. I think it's awesome what he's doing. What's going on? Good morning, Chef Fine as Wine. Welcoming in everybody. I appreciate you guys coming through. So until the next interview, very informational. Thank you, Chanel. Let's see. I hope that's me. Okay. All right. Thank you on YouTube for watching. Thank you on Facebook. And until the next interview, my name is Quincy. I'm the host and founder of Studio Q. Thanks for supporting the page, liking the TikTok videos, liking my interviews. Continue to support. And I'll see you next time. Have a great Tuesday. Oh, and it's Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. What's up, Sarah Keys? What's up? Good morning. Thank you. Good morning to you, Sarah. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you guys coming on in. I really do. Comedian L. Hendricks, thank you for dropping a comment on YouTube. Appreciate that, you guys. All right. I try to pay more attention to the comments, or try to have a little section or time where I do that, because I don't want to ignore you, because I appreciate you showing up to watch the interview. So, but when I'm interviewing, I'm like zoned into the person. That's just my style. All right, guys, have a great Tuesday. And once again, happy Black History Month. Today's February 1st.